Hello, everybody. Ori Spado here. Listen, I was going to do a live show. My son had it all set up. But then when I go the way he set it up and I try to hit on it to get in, I don't know why I couldn't do it. So I'm going to do this show as a video today. And, whoever dreamed we'd be talking about maggots? All right? But here it is, Diddy thinks he's the only person in prison. He thinks he's special. He's not special. And folks, as you know, I spent 30 months at MDC Brooklyn. 30 months. For trial, for pleas, court appearance after court appearance, bail denials. Yeah, I went through it all, Diddy. Why can't you? Okay? You're not special. Alright? So, let's talk about the Metropolitan Detention Center first. It houses between 12 to 1,800. It's normally at its capacity at around 1,700. When I was there were 1,700 inmates. So Diddy, you're not the only one there. You're not the only one fighting the case. Okay? And every inmate there would love to get a pardon from Donald Trump. It's not going to happen. Now, MDC is a detention center where they house inmates who have court appearances, who are being transferred to other prisons. There's a lot going on. It's like a train station, folks. All right, coming and going all the time, every day there. All right, but as I promised you, I talked to two of my co-defendants. They sat with me every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at MDC. Yes, we all did our cooking. Every table. The blacks had their cooks, all right? The Mexicans had their cooks, and so forth and so on, okay? But one thing, we all respected each other in prison. That's a big thing. You better have respect for the other inmates, because everybody's got their own problem trying to fight their own issues. So Diddy, you're not alone, okay? And I don't feel sorry for you, okay? Fight your case like you should. Now, I don't know who's dumb or dumber, you or your lawyers. Are your lawyers doing everything that you tell them to do? Or are they doing everything the way they should be doing in the legal manner to try to help you? Because if they're doing what you're telling them to do, then they're not good lawyers. Okay? Because a good lawyer would fire you and would not represent you. So there's something very wrong here. I see Diddy's lawyers yesterday all over YouTube, on TV, all right, trying to beg President Trump for a pardon. I don't think it's going to happen. I doubt it's going to happen. If it were going to happen, just think, all right? Jay Clayton, who is Trump's guy, is in charge. And he's asking the judge in his motion, in the legal way to do it, to go above the guidelines and give Diddy the maximum. So if Trump's guy is asking for the maximum and these idiots are asking for a pardon, there's something wrong. Okay? Now, as I told you, I talked to two co-defendants who were there with me, and I wrote the prison guard. I wrote to the prison guard. My question to her was, have you ever heard of maggots in the food at MDC? The first thing she wrote me, lies. Those carts are locked and used refrigerators. Folks, I've seen them. They're enormous. They're cold. They keep the food cold. Okay? The food is cooked. It's prepared days before and then put in the freezer and then heated up and it's served to the inmates. Okay? The guards eat there. You think the guards would eat there if there were maggots in the food? But seriously, what are maggots? You want to know what maggots are? There's an overview. I do my research, folks. Maggots in food are not common in well-managed food preparation settings, which MDC is. But they can occur in certain situations, especially with spoiled or decaying food. The presence of maggots indicates that fly eggs have been laid and hatched on the food source. Maggots are fly larvae. They are immature form of flies and they develop from eggs laid by the adult fly. Flies are attracted to decaying organic matter such as rotting food where they lay their eggs. And they can hatch within 24 hours. The FDA allows some insects, including maggots, in certain foods like drained mushrooms, 20 per 100 grams. Keeping food properly stored, refrigerated and covered, and maintaining good hygiene in the kitchen helps prevent flies. They do that at MDC. MDC is not the greatest place on earth, but they do some things right there. Eating maggots. While it's not ideal, accidentally eating maggots is unlikely to cause serious harm, though it could potentially lead to some bacterial contamination if the food was already spoiled. In other words, you could eat maggots and it's not going to hurt you. So I wanted to share that, folks. Okay? I hope you understand that there. Let's get back to Diddy and his lawyers. What they're doing is ridiculous. But you know what? You got to give them a lot of credit because they got to be charging this guy $1 million a week. Yeah, at least. He's got 10 lawyers. That's 200 grand a week. How many of you make 200 grand in a year? All right, folks, that's it for today. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. I appreciate it. Thank you. God bless.